Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is time to jump on into the third map of the BO3 here. It's Vertigo and VERTEX. Look like they are going to be starting on that T side on the defense. So let's see exactly what we're going to get from these two stellar teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, running in the IEM Melbourne event last weekend, actually, we saw, all the series that VERTEX played have this map, and they won it pretty convincingly in every single one of them.
Well, yeah, it's a nice little line there. It's a bit of a chip onto the PZ, but everything's slowing down. It looks like VERTEX are going to go for a cheeky attempt at the boost. Made a bit of sound, though, so cancel for now, and look to just wait to take contact somewhere else.
Lots of util for VERTEX here. Brace and Addict running in with a bit of it. PZ with the P250 position also known. Sico and Ins are toying with him at the moment.
I'll try to draw the attention, and in comes the push up the B stairs now with Malta placed behind the plywood. Oh, nice little... I thought it was a fadeaway, but it was Liazz to steal it. Back from default side, he's going to find another. Good flashes coming through to support from Ali. And this round might be all over Red Rover, but a 2v5 is not off the cards just yet. PZ, 50-50 at range. Tapping away, won't find anything, and it's a flawless one coming through for the Hounds.
Yeah, alrighty, 5 alive. They were a little bit absent of pistols when it came over to Inferno, right? So it's a good start for them. Hopefully it gets their nerves out of the way if they had any nerves coming in towards it, because the decisions that they got to make have got to be pretty, pivotal in this map here, because Inferno, it just didn't really look like the Grayhound that we know. But that's not to take anything away from VERTEX, because they played it pretty damn well.
The speed when it comes to that forklift side, just trying to bait out as much of that util as possible. And I dare say, we're probably going to see VERTEX try and do that a few times. Just make some noise in one direction. And try to slow things through. Bait out as much util as possible.
Yeah, we'll just see what the Glocks are going to be able to do from VERTEX here. Kind of hope these sort of rounds, they don't reveal too much of their telltales. They don't give Grayhound opportunities to get some information earlier on, a little bit later on, just from these sort of what could be free gimme rounds to the CTs. As the bodies are all spotted, Vexite and Liazz, Ins, everyone's here. Easy done. Now it's time for the guns to actually come through from the side of VERTEX, and this is where I'm going to be interested to see what sort of control they look to establish earlier. Mark, is it going to be, battles at the ramps time and time again? Are we going to get a bit of a mid battle? Are we going to get some B executes from those stairs control early? We know that's where Malta does like to play predominantly, so potentially it's going to be one of those things where Malta just goes over to the B stairs, rest of the squad go look to get some A ramp pressure early. I'd probably expect that, and yeah, that's exactly what's happening. The standard default you would say for VERTEX.
Oh, cheeky big fan by Liazz there. Over towards Malta, who is that B stairs holder for VERTEX. And now it's going to be quite difficult for VERTEX to get back in, but they're going to put some pressure on mid. Vexite rather already falling off that position and just spotting from a safer position. CT. VERTEX. Oh, that move. Trying to be made at A. Has been almost torn apart. Easy. Good find a timing here over the top of the smoke. Oh, Ali's barely alive.
Yeah, that would have been huge for PZ to find, but there's a gap in mid and Addict is looking to exploit it. However, overlooking that Vexite is in spawn, a bit of an elevator's crunch potentially at the topper side of things. Brace, though, needs to get toward his team because he's starting to lose his mates. He loses himself, and now it's all on to Hazard. First gun round from VERTEX in a 1 versus 4 position revealed. And this is looking pretty slim for the man.
Like that attempt. He got into a good position. Unfortunately, didn't get past the first hurdle. So we can't really say how close it bloody got. But it wasn't very close.
Yeah.
Now, VERTEX going into the next are probably going to half buy, maybe P250s, bit of armor, maybe some util. Or is it just the full save coming through? We'll see.
kind of want to see a little bit of a mid push from them on the pistols. We saw that was, you know, one of their weaknesses last time against Rooster. A couple of rounds that didn't go Vertex's way when that happened. So maybe if it's a weakness of theirs, they could look to pull a page out of their opponents or previous opponents.
Hey, I just want to highlight that angle from Addict on the ladder. I haven't seen anyone hold that before, and it is nasty. Little pixel line.
I think I missed it.
Yeah. It's all right. Well, there'll be another time. But look, definitely an advantage, except for the fact that you cannot shoot well on the ladder.
Oh, hang on. He's still on the ladder. I think I know the one you're talking about then. Well, it is those pistols for Vertex yet again, as we say. A smoke and a HE grenade. See what they can potentially do. Flash in for ins. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Just want to see Grayhound hold on to a lot of this weaponry. And maybe for Vertex, if they can catch potentially aliStair between shots. Oh.
Okay, I saw a world where that was going to work out for Vertex. Sico able to get the almost full mop up. And Malta now just looking to do any extra damage. Maneuver coming across the fence on the backside. Ali did not see it at all.
Yeah, unfortunately, Hazza has been taken out. Oh, has taken out his teammate. So he's at -1. Here we go. That's cheeky as wow. Good for some like information, I guess. But if you want to go for a challenge, you have to go up the ladder, and that's probably noise. You know, best case scenario, they don't see you there. They walk towards the T-spawn. You shimmy up and you get them.
Look, you're overanalyzing it again. It's good to get the info, and if you got that double mid set up, like you can get someone to swing off it. So it has its uses. But little prog smoke coming through from Hazza, flash 2, and Grayhound are just going to be happy to hold here behind the mollies for the moment. Not using too much util for the early round, and Vertex plenty on the belts as well.
Important opening pick. aliStair pushed in through mid. Addict gets a flash from a teammate. Could be quite large. Rotations start to come through from ins to reset up a smoke as well. See what they can do on the back of this one way. It's all a ruse. Sico to see the feet if under. See if they get extra damage. But a minute on the clock. Vexite starts to move. It's a good opener. On towards Addict. They can fall away. It's a bit of info. It's a bit of util pieces that Vertex might look to have hold later on. Starting to have to be utilized. Get some information.
As they're going to start to try and take this lane control. Do it. But pressure on both extremities. Is Vertex going to start to roll into B as well. Flashes forward. Liazz going to find one. And live with the flash, live with this position. But through the flames, PZ's going to be able to strike, but not before Liazz finds a second. Now just slowing things down. 1v4 angle from PZ. Oh, he's going to have to ace it up, but a beautiful flash forces him in behind quad here, and there's not much going for him. Vexite just going to slowly shift forward, find that line, and it is another clean one. 4 alive for Grayhound, and 5 rounds on the board now.
An opportunity to take the secondary op if they wanted to, but just not the plan of action for them. All the standard rifles for Grayhound, 5-0. Another shutdown. Another start like we saw on Nuke for the Hounds. A good, clean one. See what these pistols once more from Vertex can do. Who have been changing up their early stages of approach time and time again. This time in front of the flames. Brace. Being taken down. Malta to fall as well. Just one after another. Grayhound making sure they're just dispatching of things nice and easily. Liazz to claim his third. There is one, at least here, Mac, from the side of Vertex. Addict finding it.
Cheeky highlight setup. Makes that trade feel damn good. But at the same time, Hazza still on -1. Hasn't found a kill on an enemy. Only on his team. Very unfortunate start to the game. And Vertex, any momentum that they had from Inferno, it seems to be completely gone at the moment.
Yeah, a good reset for Grayhound coming into this third and decider map of this series to decide, for those that might have just been joining us, who is going to get into that upper final, that grandy, to see who's going to actually get into the IEM Dallas event later on this year. Should be quite good for either of the four teams that are still, you know, in this closed qualifier circuit. Of course, this game going in parallel with the other one of Encore and Rooster, which the loser of this series will be playing the winner of. And now finally we get another big old investment from VERTEX with all of their guns. The AWP is back there for PZ. We're going to get some sort of early strategy plan from them, though, or is it going to be a bit of a default beginning and then look to peel in towards and execute a little bit later on? Malta back towards the B stairs. Rest of the squad over towards A ramp with that standard set of utility coming down. However, this time, it is actually aliStair losing his life before he could even have a chance at a fight as PZ. They're a bit quicker.
Ooh. Falling away. He's going to come off and bring it back to this 4v4 now. VERTEX losing the advantage and not finding anything other than the ramp control for it. Things getting a little bit awkward as the round goes forward. Molly just slowing down that front side push now, and PZ trying to find a line around the smoke on site. Good nade line up, big chunk of damage. Probably could have done a bit more. It was the plant in the corner, so nades went slightly awry, and PZ now posted. Should be able to find one here. There is a flash, however, in the hands of Liazz, but I don't know if that's going to be placed successfully. And there it is. It will be. And that's got PZ straight off that line. So Grayhound off the races now, starting to make their way forward. Liazz going to be able to trade that one, but Addict follows through with a nade and a headshot too. And In's now tapping. He's making noise. He knows he doesn't have a lot of time here to play with PZ2. He knows he's won. So he'll just fall as far away from the ball and takes another kill to boot. So here you go, VERTEX on the board.
Yep, good to see in that 4 versus 4 scenario as well. You know, they really didn't have too much utility. A nade, a flash, and a flash is really all they had. So it would have been pretty difficult for VERTEX had they missed a couple of extra shots, had Grayhound maybe even layered a little bit of their utility onto the retake earlier on. As you may mention too, it was a great flash to get things started. PZ splitting the wickets, but the rest of the team to pick up the slack where required to get VERTEX the round on the board. And now in the new one, it is going to see Vexite dropping down. Stairs being seen. Malta, he's by himself, not to be traded out. Liazz is going to assist Vexite for the victory of that duel. And once again, VERTEX, they are on the back foot in the early stages of a new round.
Addict knows that Liazz loves that spot behind default. Try and find a timing of his mollies. Some kind of control, but Vexite's gone forward. There you go. Untradeable, and the flash comes through that second or so late. Now Liazz full reliance on that smoke to buy some more time, but VERTEX happy with the kill they found.
Yeah, equalizing it up. 4 on 4, a minute to play with. Try and bait out some rotations, potentially away from where VERTEX are trying to go towards, back towards A. As In starts to push on down towards the ramp as well, trying to execute some caution on top of this smoke. He's spotted out Addict. He gets a bit of damage off. And once again, we're equalized on the 3-3. aliStair, the only one here, needs a bit of assistance. But Mac, as I said, it's all to draw rotations, right? This B side of the map was the plan of action for VERTEX from pretty much the get-go. PZ, he's gotten through. Now he's called for the cavalry to rotate back after they have indeed drawn rotations away. But by the time Grayhound are going to get here.
Yeah, issue is PZ trying to hold this with an AWP. Could have been dangerous, but the timing's worked out. And, oh, that spot as well is not going to be cleared. So, PZ, dangerous approach. And, oh, Addict not going to be able to trade either. He's seen from the house members. And it's a quick retake after that bomb gets planted. 7 secured now for Grayhound. Everything working out perfectly on the retake.
Yep, 3 versus 3. As you may mention too, PZ with the AWP has to be narrow focused in that one to try and find a tighter line. And unfortunate for him, sometimes it be that 50-50 where it doesn't work out for yourself. And it swings back over towards Grayhound's side, one away from closing out the half here in the lead no matter what. Vertex down onto these lighter pistols with Brace picking up the AK-47. We get something a little bit faster from Vertex here. Pushing through the util. Trying to see if you can catch off a Grayhound member in a position transition. Catch him a little bit lacking. Ooh.
Nice shot from Ali and Brace. 0 and 9 currently. Not finding the impact that he had earlier on in the series. Hazza able to find one there, and now he's on 0 kills. That's what we've been looking for. Malta going to strike as well, and the Deagles doing a bit of damage. Ins expecting some kind of re-swing, but he's not ready for the power that Addict is packing. And Vexite's going to be able to find one more as well. So it's just youngster on youngster here with a bit of experience on the side of Liazz. And Addict is hoping to win this. I cannot remember seeing him AWP too often, so we'll see how it goes.
AWPing across the ditch as well. See what he can do with this one. With the HP. Okay. Apparently, nothing, unfortunately. That'll be the 8 for the Hounds. A bit of damage delivered in that one by Vertex, but you shift your eyes to the Benjamins of Grayhound, and there's a lot of them that they can just hold in their hand and splash around at the moment, so it's not going to phase them losing a couple of members here and there if they are ultimately winning the rounds at the end of the day.
Well, into the 10th, we're getting pretty deep with it, and Grayhound are not wrong after what happened to them on Inferno. You can see that they really don't want to go down to the lower bracket here. They just want to have their afternoon off, watch the game from the sidelines, play a little later on in the day. Tomorrow, but Vertex, they still have an opportunity. They just need to get that motor cranking real damn soon.
Easy, an opportunity here potentially if the smoke starts to fade in his favor. He is indeed going to be spotting out ins. So at least for now, an opportunity for Vertex to try and double up their scoreline. There are two members toward the B side of the map, that being Liazz on the side itself, and then Vexite playing on top of the plateau. But with the stalling of the time from the utility, it will provide a bit of an opportunity for aliStair. Just get some eyes on top of the smoke. Redeploy some util on its fading. That actually goes a little bit awkward and gets extinguished. But with a minute to go, Vertex still with that player advantage here, Mac, and a lot of this utility to go in for a full execute if they want to. Should be pretty promising.
Ooh, shots over the top, and Addict may have cracked open the B site, but there's still two defenders to find. And these smokes in the way are a pain right now. Liazz, solid position. He's going to be covered from that ramp side. Ooh, spots that wraparound coming, but it is going to be trades favoring Vertex and a site found. Surely Ali's on the save in the 1v4. Money is pretty good, but Haz is behind him, knocking on his back door, and that is going to be a second round for Vertex. So just when they needed it, let's see if they can shift it for a few rounds in a row.
Yeah, they'll call a timeout here as well. Again, have a couple of thoughts. They finally get one under their belt, a second one. I guess, you know, all things considered, they're not going to be able to win the half, but if they can make it a real competitive one, if they can get to 7 rounds, maybe if they get 5 or 6, they get the pistol when things do switch up. You know, that's a recipe to start rolling back in towards this series. You got a full buy coming back here. You're around about the scenario where you can reset Grayhound as well. 1900 coming in on that loss bonus. So, you know, potentially, you never really want to rely on having to get some good eco round wins, but it is the nature of Counter-Strike where they do happen. They do come around. You want to make sure you're maximizing your economy and your cleanliness of those rounds as well. As the kind of pinnacle of this one, we definitely want to see Vertex be able to transition this one into a third round. Malta already being taken down to half HP. It's not really the greatest start in terms of Vertex's positioning and just the util damage that Grayhound are farming up.
Starting to make the move now at the minute mark. Addicts with that molly over towards lane side to enable some kind of map pressure to start to come through on the ramp. And Ali playing a dangerous game this time. Tucked away at the sandbags. We haven't seen this set up too often. And the boost as well. Sico just waiting to activate. And he might have even missed his moment. Just waiting for Ali to take this contact first.
Could be large if Ali's cleared. A couple of Molotovs for Vertex. A double grenade stack would finish him up, but they've overlooked it, Mac.
Yeah, and Sico's a little bit late on that one. However, they'll deal with the wrap just in time. Addicts looking to save the day. And Hazard! Ooh, I saw the world where he found that lineup, but both angles going to be covered. Sico able to trade and keep the numbers strong for Grayhound with that bomb in hand. You now see Addicts starting to escape back to B instead, and Malta really advanced now, drops the molly to try and buy some time, flash forward, but Liazz respects it. So we should see Vertex getting this plant down. 2
versus 3 for Vertex to try and come away with. 2 flashes for Addict. If he positions one on the back of his plant, it could be massive, but it's all on towards Malta. He finds the first one.
Oh, Shadow. Doesn't really matter here because Addict is clearing that left side. Swing through, and Malta asserts his dominance there from Gen. That's going to be a third on the board. 2 back-to-back for Vertex. And they might have found the little bit of fuel they needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they're going to have a pretty strong buy coming into this round where Grayhound are not going to have too heavy of an investment either. Sitting around the 3K to the 2K mark for a couple of these members. It's just going to be those upgraded pistols, assistive variety, and the utility. It's very bare bones. So these sort of rounds, you potentially think of a stack when it comes to Vertigo. It's not that often that you see it. You know, Inferno, yeah, okay, maybe. You get your B-side stats with all of your, you know, your pull stack, your barbecue stack, that kind of thing as well. Those little set strategies. But for right now, it's 3 members on this B-site for Grayhound. It's that flash setup for ins for an allotted play if they have any information, any keen idea. The Vertex members might be shifting focus toward that B-site, but for the time being, there's a bit of an exploration from Hazard up through Scaff. Be pretty annoying for him if this Deagle removes his head and that AK is stolen by Grayhound. If they put it to good use, could be quite a way to get back into this round.
Woof. Ali escapes with his life. Now, we might see a boost up here, but it's going to be the safer choice coming through from Grayhound until Ali goes through the smoke on his own, and that's not going to work out. Good damage as well onto the ins side of things, and the nades as well. Just couldn't quite stop that bomb from getting planted. So, yeah, Grayhound, not a lot going on for him in the round at Vertex. A very healthy one, 5 alive at the moment, and it's looking to stay that way.
Yeah, any damage that would potentially Liazz and Vexite could do on the exit would be just pat status at the end of the day. You'd need 3 kills here to really affect any of the economy of Vertex. See Vexite good for 1, and that's all that we're going to be seeing done in this one. 8-4. Vertex starting to get a couple of rounds on this T side that they so desperately needed. As I may mention as I may mention to previously, you know, it is those eco rounds that you want to be making sure you win cleanly, right? Just to hold onto your own economy, give yourself some more confidence that you're not affording your opponents a way in with just a lesser equipped buy. Now of which they don't have that. They actually have a pretty decent one. There's a kit in there as well. A lot of util. 3 players for Grayhound to the A side of the map where they're dumping a lot of this utility to hold this control. Then you've got Vexite playing in mid. And of course Liazz over on the B side of things.
They'll approach it mid now. Just going to be tucking into his party hole as everything else goes down towards A. And VERTEX just running back the paces. It's been working out for them for the last couple of rounds. Grayhound shifting down a gear, it seems. And Vexite aggressive offline. Multiple coming around the corner, and managing to find 2 there is a pretty good effort. But as you can see, it is going to be a 2-for-2 trade all across the map. And now it's just a matter of where VERTEX decide they want to go.
3 versus 3, 30 seconds, and aliStair is going to catch the bomb. That is a sinker at the moment for VERTEX. Malta wanted to be clearing positions on the site. Now they have to spend some time and sacrifice it to go back and get that one where Sico pops up. This is quite unfortunate for VERTEX. It's on to Malta in a 1 versus 3. aliStair technically doesn't even need to give him a fight here, nor does Sico really, but they know he's starting to run away. That's where the other member pops up. So in the end, Malta will lose his life. That will be 9 for Grayhound.
And there you have it. Grayhound hitting back. I don't know if 4 is going to be enough on the T side. We've seen some pretty insane T sides as of late. And I'm a little bit worried that things might not be going right for VERTEX. But we'll wait till the second half. We'll see how things happen. They have had a pretty solid retake as of late. For now, Grayhound going to change it up. They're going to be sending Sico in through these smokes. Waiting to try and find a little lurker. There it is on the right side. The op has worked and the trade hasn't quite come through yet. It's PZ to find it over the top with the boost. Ali falling. So at least they will find some kind of answer.
But is it going to be enough at the moment for VERTEX with this equalization? There's still 3 members of Grayhound over at this A side, and on top of this smoke, who's it going to better favor? In's revealing himself. It's really unfortunate because now Vexite has a lot to do with his teammate, of course, in Sico here, but they're making mincemeat of it. My word, all 4 for Vexite there. And that's double digits achieved for Grayhound now.
Mate, that was a mop-up if I've ever seen one. He's got the mop out, janitorial duties, and he's timed this one to perfection. Oh, he shouldn't have got that killer to PZ. He didn't even know that was coming. Instant trade, accidentally.
Oh, well, that's either 11-4 or 10-5 in this one. A little bit of utility for VERTEX. PZ on an MP7. Malta has had a pretty brutal time trying to go down towards B. Grayhound really punishing him individually. Now as aliStair dispatches of Brace, gets some extra information. And this is where things do just look to have a close on this first half, Mac.
The 2v4 might put a bit more on the fire there, but that's not going to happen. I can't even get the words out of my mouth, and the round's bloody done. 11-4 at the half, and Grayhound in the pole position to close out the map, but we got to get to a break to get to a second half. So I'll see you after this. Welcome back, ladies and gents. And we've already got a team halfway up ramp. Grayhound really just hunting down this ramp control now, and VERTEX relinquishing it, not wanting to fight too much. But Brace on the other extremity going to be able to find Sico, putting some pressure on mid.
Not too much utility for anyone here. Clean slate of Kevlar across the board. It's all going to come down to the individual duels and maybe what you can do with a teammate. Vexite tucked in behind the sandbags, and with the rest of his team disappearing, maybe he's going to be able to pull the rug out from under VERTEX, and immediately he will be able to do 2 quick frags. A player advantage now for Grayhound, and maybe to look to become a second one as PZ could be up next.
PZ, jiggling. Not going to be able to stop that cross to sight, so maybe a missed opportunity. But that's going to be a couple of wide swings punished by Addict, who's looking for more. The fall away, Liazz now in the 1v2 angle. Has up top. The off angle's too damn good. Crosshair placement, perfect. And that's a round that VERTEX really, really needed. The CT pistol in the bag now. Let's see if they can put more on, or if that bomb plan is just going to mean Grayhound with Galil's is going to be too strong to get past.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, of course. That's probably what we are expecting here. There's enough rounds of padding that Grayhound can go for the force, specifically with that bomb plant as well. A couple of crispy shots in from Vexite earlier on. But there's a bit of decision-making to be had if they don't look to go into that now as well. Everybody should be all goods with that decision. But in the end, they are going to juggle things up. They are going to go in for the purchase. 2 Galils, an AK, and 2 Deagles is what they come out with. Meanwhile, on the flip side, it's a little bit more well-rounded for VERTEX. The M4's famous Scout and an MP9 up close and personal from Malta. 3 players for VERTEX over at the A side of the ramp. And it currently is only in shooting a couple of pot shots out, seeing if there's going to be any over-investment from VERTEX with this smoke. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see if Malta wants to push through it. There's, of course, a couple of shots from PZ available too with that scout. No real shifts from VERTEX over at the other side of the map to try and back things up over at A. Explosion could happen at B, though, from Grayhound at any moment, Mac.
And there it is. The bomb's blown up. Hazard not ready to catch that one at all. And Addict thought he had a nice line, but he's almost lost his bloody life. And Brace was certainly not ready for the aggression on Liazz on that short side. This round is roasted. VERTEX looking all out of luck right now, and Liazz does the percentage play. Happy to fall back, hold the crossfire instead. Just worry about a CT re-approach for this retake.
No kit.
Time is ticking. And Ali, he'll find one, but not the other. Inns as well on the hunt, looking to pad some stats again, but it's Liazz to do it instead. And that's going to be 12 on the board, so what do you know? Bomb plant's broken. Too much money in the bank on a lost round.
Yeah, the potential, you know, for the stats to look pretty good for Grayhound moving forward. Liazz and Vexite over 20 kills apiece already. Got the rest of the boys all on 10. So it is good to see that Vexite, you know, putting up some numbers nice and early in this one. He had a bit of a silent one in this series so far in the early stages of the maps. A little bit of a pickup when it came to Nuke, but for right now, certainly is leading a good example for Greyhounds. 12-5 as the third timeout is going to be used for VERTEX here. They had that purchase up. They won the pistol. However, dropping that secondary round would make things a little bit more difficult for them, a little bit more of a climb that they have to contest with, and contest they will, going in with everybody going out. $50 to spare across 4 of them. Nothing for PZ. So we'll see what these pistols are going to be able to deliver, with the Famous being the tip of the spear for Malta. Meanwhile, for Greyhound, they can really just look to exercise a lot of their utility if they want to bait it all out from VERTEX. Or to just completely pepper them with flashes. Speaking of PZ, wow, that's a quick one.
Where to from here? Molly on towards jump up. Ins just waiting for a banger, and in comes the swing, but Addict
Wow.
wasn't blinded at all. That's going to be some sharp shots coming through, but the round not quite saved just yet. Bomb on the ground. And Ali trying to buy some time because Vexite is a world away. But that's because he's taken A, and Ali's going to be able to get as well and beat VERTEX on this rotation. So we'll see if Vexite's going to be able to lock this down.
Well, Addict has just managed to pick up an AK-47. There's a smoke that he can use, but remember, there is no kit, so they're going to have less time to go for a potential retake. And this time is actually going to give Grayhound a little bit to set themselves up where they want to for this retake.
Malta taking point. That util thin on the VERTEX side of things. And they're going to tap it. Maybe even the full stick to nade forward. But that's going to be chipped away at. And on top.
Oh,
Not
wow,
going to find him at all. No one's seen Vexite. Addict's lost in the bloody sauce and the smoke. And the spray down was too damn good. Grayhound secure a 13th. And now just 3 more are necessary to make their way straight into the qualification match.
That was a gorgeous spray to come out from Vexite at the end of it as well. Just the HE grenade just softened them up. Make those boards a little bit quicker to get that final frag. That was nice. And now, poor old VERTEX down onto just the USPs. It's been a similar story time and time again for them. Not able to get rounds happening their way. And they're going to try and charge at Liazz, who doesn't technically need any stat padding. But if they're going to give it to him, why not?
There you go. USP's getting the job done for a little bit of damage. And Brace starting to fire up. Aggression, the key to damage, but maybe not the round just yet. Brace, a bit of a late starter. Only 5 kills so far, but now is the time for him to go insane. And unfortunately, they've picked the wrong site to go through, but already into so advanced. And the spacing from these Grayhound members means that trades are going to be difficult if Ins falls here, but at the same time, they're playing the bomb, they're worried about the flank, and Ins is insane, so he's just able to stand and deliver.
Yeah, now Malta is going to take a prize of a Galil out into the next one potentially, but maybe going to upgrade that to an AK-47, a little bit better placed in the next round. No more damage to be delivered, which, yeah, all things considered, there is some neat damage that VERTEX were able to do in this one against Grayhound, but with Vexite nearing 7k, you got Liazz, who's towards 6 as well. Everybody's going to have a real comfortable buy coming into this next one for Grayhound. 1 away from securing overtime no matter what in this deciding series of the night, and then 1 after the fact will seal the deal, putting them into that grand final to try and get to Dallas.
Grayhound changing it up and for a little bit more mid pressure, but the multi slowed him down over towards the A ramp as well. Everything is just smooth sailing over here. So much on the util. Molly gonna miss the mark there for Malta. Expecting someone to be advanced at the sandbags, but unknown to him, there's no one there for the moment. Vexite just staying loud and trying to force out a pressured mistake from VERTEX, who are just jumping around looking for any info to play off right now.
A lot of utility dumped out and not available anymore as well for the CTs. Couple of smokes, single flash. You got HE and an incendiary in the mix, and they're still going to be there because it's only Hazard that's lost his life at the B site at the moment. He'll manage to take Ins with him. Under a minute to go for VERTEX to try and renegotiate their forces around the map, figure out what they need to be doing.
Looks like we are going to see the bug molly from Ali.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Is that illegal?
I think he's missed
molly?
Anyway, so it's not illegal if it misses.
Yeah.
Depends on the rules. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. It's the round that counts right now, and Grayhound is slowly but surely making their way forward. Molly to sandbags, and a couple of flashes as well as these smokes, and Brace is very much out on an island. Malta trying to draw attention. Lineup is there, but Brace only good for 1. But it might be enough to set Malta up for 2 more. Sico, 1v3 angle. and 10 seconds on the clock. Molly denying the plant even further, and VERTEX have managed to salvage themselves a 6th round, but at what cost?
Yeah, they're still floating here, but the waters are still a bit infested at the moment with sharks. Grayhound still holding a firm lead with 8, but nevertheless, it is a round that goes to the CTs. They'll be taking a couple of weapons into the next round as well, getting those reinvestments. And look, you know, with the way the which the money is looking for Grayhound, and from what we've seen previously on Inferno, on Nuke, I would like to say, you know, VERTEX, the comeback, it's got to start now. And it does. It has to be clean, right? They need to get this if they have any chance to win in regulation. Flawless in nature from here. And this is the start. It's technically in the previous round, but it is here. We're in the middle of it. Sico with an AK. Lesser pistols for the rest of Greyhounds. Try and buy time. Not be the first member to die if you are VERTEX. Figure out any tendencies that you can from Grayhound on this T side so far, and try not to be predictable yourselves as well. Try not to just afford them that free opening one, as I may mention too, which PZ he's not going to do here at the moment. Sees the boost, knows there's a second player here at least.
Certainly aware that they are slightly unarmed and happy to get a cheeky bit of aggression coming forward. Well, Sico able to find 1. Cheeky bit of damage. Famis does some work for 3. And that should be all over Red Rover. But there he goes in. Couldn't get that AK recycled in time. And 3 alive for VERTEX. I'm still a little bit worried. Yeah, the economy is there for now and maybe one more buy. Maybe not even that with Brace buying up. So they really need to try and get a healthy round on the board ASAP.
Yeah, absolutely. So another good buy, though, to come in from Grayhound Mac. Ali on the AWP. Liazz and Vexite are the scary members at the moment to look towards to really put the nail in the coffin here. Send VERTEX into that lower bracket match. Against, is it Rooster?
Yes. I think Rooster won that game just before.
Bit of damage on the PZ. Likewise to Vexite, but there's a CT side affair that is a little bit more worse for wear. Not a lot of utility from Grayhound at the moment, and with all their members kind of grouping towards the same position at the moment, they've got a decision to make relatively soon. They're going to go over towards Sico and meet him with the B stairs. Liazz first. Currently, you do only see Hazza on the B side itself, and that's because Brace is getting into the enemy territory, and they are none the wiser.
How many did you get in? 1, 2, 2. But surely enough with the info, with the time remaining to get the round, and that might have just sealed the deal. Grayhound don't know where they want to go, and they know that their position very much known. So they're just going to have to brawl their way forward if they want to give it a crack here. Addict as well, still with this molly to buy some extra time. Sico just hoping someone gets a bit too big for their boots. Beautiful nade. It's him under the there, but Addict. Man's going to be able to dodge that flash in time. Ali connects, but that time is ticking.
Yeah.
I don't see a world where Ali is going to be able to get across the line. So the AWP save is the only option. And that was a close one. Look how close VERTEX were all to falling there.
Yeah. The difference, an extra, what, 20 seconds could have made for him in that round, and maybe not an AWP on a normal rifle. Could have been absolutely brilliant for him to try and find the 15th, but you still got to give props over towards VERTEX to make work of that one. Big props towards Brace as well with that flank. He gets away with 2. He gets away with all of that information, completely catching Grayhound off guard, and with only being able to survive that AWP to this new round, it's going to be the Hail Mary weapon. It's going to be the point man. aliStair to see what damage he can deliver early, see if they can steal away a couple of guns. Early utility to keep the Grayhound squad at bay from both main extremities. VERTEX challenging for a 9th here.
missed opportunity. Gifted that second attempt. Hazard on the slow peak loses his head. And VERTEX now a man down. You'd hate to see it if this is the way a 15th comes to fruition. Unless you're a Grayhound fan, then you're bloody cheering right now. 2-man advantage. And VERTEX looking a little lost at where to go. Smoke slows him down for sure, but Addict knows that he's got to make a move.
This is where things are problematic for the VERTEX side of things. They want to get an answer back. And that spot up from Addict is going to be a little bit of a false sense of security. Now he's been dinged. He's been taken out. Mac, things are going from bad to worse for VERTEX.
Big shots. Sico draws the attention, and that is 15, and that is not a way VERTEX wanted to go.
No.
Potentially down to the lower bracket, but it's happened. It's happened in this map. It happened in Nuke now. At least this round, you know, the opener was with that op shot.
Yeah.
But earlier on Nuke, that was just almost full bloody Glocks. That was an interesting one. Either way, look, here we are. This is the hand we've been dealt, and this is the hand that VERTEX has been dealt as well. So we'll see what they can do with the very rough buy that they've brought into the round.
Cut some corners. Make friends with the dealer, although that doesn't generally happen. So we'll see what VERTEX are going to be able to do. MP9s, a 1A, 1S, and those 2 Deagles to keep the dream of an upper bracket run alive. It has to be 7. It has to go to OT. And then you won't be plagued with any economical woes too, which has been one of the real problematic factors at the moment for VERTEX in a couple of these maps. They're playing a little bit standard at the moment. 1 player towards B. 1 player towards mid, and the other 3 over towards A, looking for any overreach from the Grayhound members, and they aren't really giving it to them. Clearing angles with their utility, doing their due diligence. Now, things for the T side squad do look to transition over towards the B side of the map.
There's a shot. And one that Grayhound has put him a little bit closer to the W, but Hazard rather. Trying to wrap around, trying to find a gap in the smoke there. Vexite playing a dangerous game. Bit of ring around the Rosie, and has found himself the AWP in hand. Gets one big one. Missed opportunity there onto Vexite, who flicks around with the Glock in time. But he's got 18 points of health, 19 make it. And PZ has found a sharp line. Smoke as well. Happy just to give the bomb to Sico with minimal time. Oh, he's tagged him through the smoke there. He knows PZ's low over towards the danger side, and this might be all she wrote. Dropping down, he'll get it done. 16-8 on map number 3 here. And it is going to be that 2-1 scoreline, which I feel like is a very solid showing from VERTEX. Inferno in the bag gives us a lot of hope going into tomorrow. You know, there is still a chance for an upset, but Grayhound